Be ready. Start. A person who subjects a woman to cruelty is liable for punishment under Section 498A IPC. Cruelty has been defined as any willful conduct which is likely to drive the woman to commit suicide or to cause grave injury or danger to life, limb, or health, whether mental or physical, of the woman, or harassment of the woman with a view to coercing her or any person related to her to meet any unlawful demand for any property or valuable security or account of failure by her or any person related to her to meet such demand. In the present case, prosecution has not been able to prove that there was any harassment of the deceased on account of any demand for property or any valuable security. None of the witnesses have deposed with regard to any demand. Prosecution has not been able to prove that there was ever any demand. The only evidence that the prosecution has produced is the suicide note, and the suicide note alleges that the deceased was beaten a lot that day and that the appellant used to beat her because of co-accused, and that he had some relations with co-accused to which the deceased had objection. As noticed above, the allegation in the suicide note that the deceased had been beaten a lot that day has not been substantiated by the medical evidence. All that has been established is that the deceased had been slapped. Whether it was the appellant who had slapped her has not been established. Further, the allegation that the appellant used to beat the deceased has not been established. The witnesses for the prosecution, including neighbors, friends, and parents of the deceased, have not supported this allegation. The allegation that the deceased had any relationship with co-accused has not been established. Prosecution has not produced any material to show as to how the deceased had formed the opinion that the appellant was having any relationship with co-accused. On the other hand, the father of the deceased has stated that the deceased was short tempered and used to threaten to commit suicide. In the facts of the present case, the prosecution has failed in establishing that the ingredients of Section 498A are satisfied. The trial court has also erred in holding the appellant guilty of the offense under Section 498A IPC. The trial court has further held that since the appellant has committed the offense under Section 498A, he can also be convicted for the offense under Section 306 IPC. In a recent decision of the Apex Court, it has been held that mere fact that the husband had developed some intimacy with another woman during the subsistence of marriage and failed to discharge his marital obligations as such would not amount to cruelty, but it must be of such a nature as is likely to drive the spouse to commit suicide. The concept of mental cruelty depends upon the milieu and the strata from which the persons come from, and definitely has an individualistic perception regard being had to one's endurance and sensitivity. To explicate solely because the husband is involved in an extramarital relationship and there is some suspicion in the mind of wife that cannot be regarded as mental cruelty, which would attract mental cruelty for satisfying the ingredients of Section 306 IPC. Further, to satisfy the requirement of instigation, though it is not necessary that actual words must be used to that effect, or what constitutes instigation must necessarily be specifically suggestive of the consequence. Yet, a reasonable certainty to incite the consequence must be capable of being spelt out. The present one is not a case where the accused had by his acts or omission or by a continued course of conduct created such circumstances that the deceased was left with no other option except to commit suicide, in which case an instigation may have been inferred. A word uttered in the fit of anger or emotion without intending the consequence to actually follow cannot be said to be instigation. The court should be extremely careful in assessing the facts and circumstances of each case and the evidence adduced in the trial for the purpose of finding whether the cruelty meted out to the victim had in fact induced her to end her life by committing suicide. If it transpires to the court that a victim committing suicide was hypersensitive to ordinary petulance, discord, and differences in domestic life quite common to the society to which the victim belonged, and such petulance, discord, and differences were not expected to induce a similarly circumstanced individual in a given society to commit suicide, the conscience of the court should not be satisfied for basing a finding that the accused charged of abetting the offense of suicide should be found guilty. As per the section, a person can be said to have abetted in doing a thing if he firstly instigates any person to do that thing, or secondly engages with one or more other person or persons in any conspiracy for the doing of that thing, if an act or illegal omission takes place in pursuance of that conspiracy and in order to the doing of that thing, or thirdly intentionally aids by any act or illegal omission the doing of that thing. Thank you.